Hello dear students. In last lecture we have discussed about the bacteriological indicators of fecal contamination. With respect to this, we have distinguished fecal coliform and non-fecal coliform on the basis of their INVI classification. Indol cited tests are used to classify or distinguish this fecal coliform and non-fecal coliform, including Exactman test. Okay, temperature elevated test we have used to distinguish fecal and non-fecal coliform. Now we will move towards what different types of methods are used to detect that water is potable or to determine the water quality by using different methods. So here we will discuss about the bacteriological examination of water with respect to different tests. So the water may act as a transporting vehicle for carrying pathogenic microorganisms when it becomes contaminated with disease-producing organisms through intestinal discharge of man and animals. Throughout this unit, we have discussed about these microorganisms which are originated from the intestine of man or animal, and that's why we have called it as a fecal coliform. And with respect to this, as they enter into the water resources, they act as a source of pathogens, and they can act as a that water which is contaminated with this fecal organism acts as a carrier to transfer different types of diseases, or we can say waterborne diseases. Waterborne diseases caused by the intestinal tract pathogenic microorganisms, which includes cholera, typhoid, diarrhea, amoebiasis, dysentery, infectious hepatitis, etc. As when we discuss about the cause of diarrhea, typhoid, cholera, amoebiasis, dysentery, or infectious hepatitis, all these are waterborne diseases, and the entry of these pathogenic organisms are through fecal-oral route. That means the water or the food which we have to ingest, which is already contaminated with these pathogenic organisms, and when we enter or we eat such type of contaminated food, that organism cause a particular type of disease. So that's why we can say these are nothing but waterborne diseases, and for these diseases, contaminated water, which is contaminated fecal coliform, acts as a carrier. Through these, that organism can be transferred from one person to the another. Bacteriological examination of water may be carried out to determine the potability of water using following methods. To determine the water quality, we will use different methods by which we have to detect whether that water is contaminated from fecal contamination or not, with respect to different methods like standard plate count, or shortly we can say SPC. Another is multiple tube dilution technique, that is MPM method. Membrane filter technique, that is MFT. We can say also most valuable number in case of MPM. We can also call it as a that method. So these different methods are used to determine the water quality. So firstly, here are the different sources by which water can be contaminated. Here is nothing but the example of human activity by which different water sources are contaminated. Here, untreated discharge from the industrial or domestic waste directly released into the water sources, and it again acts as a source of contamination. Here, excess flood or excess rainfall, which also leads the water contamination. Here, open defecation is again another cause of contamination, fecal contamination of water sources. So, in this regard, we have to discuss what different methods we have to use. Firstly, we will discuss about the standard plate count, or we can say SPC. It is important in determining efficiency of sedimentation, filtration, and fluoridation. These are nothing but water treatment processes. To determine their efficacy, how this process minimize the microbial contamination, or we can say sedimented suspended particles inside the water body, we can determine by using SPC, or the efficacy of these different methods, that is sedimentation, filtration, and fluoridation. Good quality of water is expected to give a low total count, less than 100 per milliliter. Okay, that means good quality, you can say the quality of water is good as it contains number of organisms or number of viable cells below 100 per liter. So on the basis of that, if that low count is, can say, after treatment, that count can be, we can minimize. Excess count, if they are present in the water sources, that water it's quite difficult to treat, or by using different method we require more efforts to clear that water. It is a qualitative method used to check the quality of representative water sample collected from source in sterile container by using standard plate method and standard procedure are followed. It is nothing but a qualitative method by which we can determine the quality of water with respect to the total viable count which are present in that particular water samples, representative water sample. Here firstly we will follow the dilution. What is meant by dilution? Dilution is nothing but we are diluting that particular water sample to minimize the load of microbial count inside the water sample. Sample should be shaken for proper distribution of organisms in sample water. Here in previous lecture we have already discussed about the proper sampling method by using particular water sample. We have discussed different sampling method for each water well sample, river sample, borewell water. For each we have followed different methods. So by following that method, we have collected about one sample. Before carried out the experiment for the SCP, we have to properly shake the water. That's why proper distribution of the micro which are present in the water sample can be carried out. If number of bacteria present is probably not greater than 300 CFU, that is coliform unit per ml, then dilution not needed. In case that sample it contains CFU count below 300, then serial dilution cannot be needed as suggested. But if the CFU count is more than, then we will need a dilution of the particular water sample so that we can obtain a specific distinguished colonies on the particular medium. But bacteria present in sample probably greater than 300 CFU per ml, then dilution should be done with respect to 1:10, 1:100, 1:1000, 1:10,000, 1:1 lakh. So with respect to that, what type of dilution we give, or by which regard how the diluted sample can be useful for the well separated as colonies we can obtain. With respect to that, we have to use particular. Sometimes we can use only 1:10 dilution or 1:100, or sometimes we require 1:1 lakh dilution with depending upon the water sample. Okay. After that, making the serial dilution, we have to carry out the plating or inoculation of that particular water sample. After getting a clear idea of bacterial count, 0.1 ml or 1 ml sample should be inoculated over nutrient agar plate, primarily put at 45 degrees Celsius by appropriate culture technique and allowed to incubate for 24 hours at optimum temperature. So another step to carry out SCP is nothing but a inoculation, or we can say plating method. After proper dilution, so we have to inoculate with respect to the quality of sample or CFU count of the water sample, whether we have to inoculate 0.1 ml of water sample or 1 ml of water sample by performing either split plate method, pour plate method, or split plate method. So any one of the method we can inoculate. By this way we can inoculate particular water sample on a already prepared nutrient agar plate. Here what happens after inoculation, we have to place that plate inside the incubator for 37 degrees Celsius at 24 hours. At 37 degrees Celsius for 24 hours, that is optimum temperature for 24 hours incubation. After that, we have to count the number of colonies which are observed on the plate. So it is nothing but a counting. After incubation, colonies are counted only in those plates showing 30 to 300 colonies. Above 300 colonies, we at least considered as they are not countable. That's why that plate are not considered for the counting. The count are expressed in terms of total number of bacteria per ml of sample and considered as a SCP, that is standard plate count, at 37 degrees Celsius. Total colonies that we have counted, they are considered to be the total number of bacteria present per ml of water, particular water sample, as we have inoculated particular water sample, and each colony represents a single type of organism. After 24 hours, it forms a colony. So in this way, we can count the total viable count, or you can say number of organisms present in the water sample. What precaution we have taken doing proper for that single standard rate count is avoid faulty technique. That means proper serial dilution technique can be followed. Water sample is collected properly and proper condition, temperature condition has to be maintained, and before 24 hours we have to inoculate the particular water sample to obtain a proper standard count of that water sample. Avoid variation in the degree of given disintegration of clump of bacteria. Proper mixing of the water sample should be carried out, and to avoid clumping of the bacteria, proper dilution should be followed. Care should be taken to avoid the loss of viability of cells during plating. As in previous slide we have said, nutrient allocate which is 45 degrees Celsius. If excess hot media, if we are poor plate, and that time we have also inoculated water sample, due to heat, viable count or the cells which are present in water sample can be killed. So that's why to proper temperature we have to maintain. At incubation we also have to maintain a proper temperature. Also during the transportation of water sample we have to maintain proper temperature, and before excess time we have to inoculate particular water sample on particular minute. Avoid overcrowding of plates. Here also excess overcrowding we should be avoided. Irregular distribution of sample and temperature of the medium. For each tube, sometimes for each serial dilution we have inoculated each plate, or sometimes last serial dilution is inoculated on the plate, depending upon the protocol which we have to follow. So on this regard, for if we have inoculated for each sample, so proper or the standard temperature for each step we have to follow to distinguish between the with respect to the dilution of the particular tube. Here it is a diagrammatic representation of standard rate count. How the SPC is carried out. Here in the we have to take the original water sample. Here we have taken a 5 test tube which contain saline solution, or we can say sterile distilled water. So in that case, sometimes 9 ml media is used, or 9 ml water sample. From original water sample we have transferred 1 ml of water sample. That's why 9 plus 1 becomes 1:10. That is the concentration of that tube becomes, or dilution of that tube becomes 1:10. After that, from first tube we have to transfer 1 ml of that particular sample to the second tube, which also contains 9 ml of the sample, 9 ml of broth of saline solution, whatever. The dilution of that second tube becomes 1:100. Similar procedure is followed for the further tube. That's why the dilution of that particular tube becomes 1:10, 1:100, 1:1000, 1:10,000, and 1:1 lakh. With respect to the 1 ml of water sample, and each tube contains 9 ml of saline solution or broth media. So with respect to the dilution is preparing with respect to this. After that, after proper serial dilution, we have to transfer either 0.1 ml or 1 ml of that sample on solidified nutrient agar plate. That's why we can count the particular viable count. Inside the broth we are unable to count viable count, so that's why we require solid media and visible growth of organism. After the serial dilution we have to transfer particular sample on particular plate, and after incubation we observe for the visible growth of organism. As the dilution is 1:10, here as expected no countable colonies are formed, as microbial load is more here. As the dilution increases, we can observe a well separated and distinguished colonies on the solid media. As the dilution increases, here we can observe a minimum growth as compared to the first plate. Okay. Again, in this third plate, we can observe is some type of well separated colonies, but sometimes there is clump formation in the bacteria. So it also not countable. In case of fourth black tube, we can observe well separated and isolated colonies, and these colonies can be countable, or we can count that media plate by using colony counter. And as the dilution increases, we require, or we can see how the dilution affect the viable count present in the water sample. So that's why to proper countability of the organism, we follow the technique with respect to that serial dilution. After the dilution, we count the bacterial count by using this formula. Number of colonies on plate multiplied by reciprocal of dilution of the particular sample equal to number of bacteria per ml. Or you can say number of bacteria per ml is nothing but it is a multiplication of number of colonies on count into reciprocal of dilution of sample. Suppose we have taken an example. For example, if 32 colonies are counted on the nutrient agar plate after 24 of incubation, and the dilution which here we have to calculate 32 colonies is nothing but 1:10,000. So then 32 into 10,000 it becomes 3,20,000 colonies per ml of water sample. So by this way you can count number of viable cells inside the water sample by using the standard plate method. So it is all about ESPC.